Welcome back to another episode of Bad Decision Garage. My name's Neil, and today we're working on Project Scout again. And the first thing we're going to do today has been bothering me every time I look at this since I've gotten it, and that is this front bumper extension. I don't like how it hangs out so far. So, first thing I think we're going to do tonight is take this front bumper off, this extension. We're going to take the front bumper off, take this extension piece out that somebody has cruelly made, and then I'm pretty sure the bumper will just go right back onto the frame rail right there. So that'll be the first thing we do tonight. Let's get to it. Alright, so like I said, the first thing I'm going to do here is take this front bumper off and get this filler piece out. I don't like how it's looking, so that'll be the first thing. It's pretty much got 2 carriage bolts holding it, 4 carriage bolts total, holding the extension piece and the bumper on. They're 3/4 inch nuts, got them on the impact here. Let's get it on. Let me grab a hammer quick and we'll pound those out. There's one. There's 2. And the front bumper comes off just like that. There's a 3rd one, 4th one, and this should come right off, and we're just going to get rid of this. We're going to take the front bumper, we'll put her too far on that side now. Just right on this side. We'll use our chrome bolts, not the black ones. There's that. Too far. There we go. In just like so. Looks good. Washer and a nut. A washer and a nut. And just like that, the bumper just looks so much nicer being tucked in. There's no reason for that extension, so I think it just looks a lot better. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, I guess, but it looks better. Alright, now with that pet peeve and hideous look gone and the Scout looking even better now, I think the next thing we're going to do is I ordered in a fuel pump because we seen that was leaking the other time, and a master cylinder because I have 0 brakes. So I just ordered in a master assuming that's bad. The next thing I want to do is get this thing up in the air take off all 4 wheels, look at the brakes, see if I can get the bleeders broke free, inspect the wheel cylinders in the rear, and then also we'll get the master cylinder off here tonight. But then, yeah, with the brakes up, like just give it a good look over, you know? See if we can make brakes happen. I have confidence that we can, but let's just make sure we don't need more. So let's get started on that. I'm gonna get it jacked up in the air and tires off. There we have it. We have it up in the air, all 4 tires off. You guys seen me do a dance with the jack stand here a little bit. Turns out it's still pretty super low to the ground, not the biggest deal. It kind of makes it nice so that I can still work under the engine bay. We'll deal with it, but it is in the air. So, good. All right, now that we have it in the air, let's get the temporary fuel system off and the hood up on this rig. Very good. Go, hood's open. That's another thing. All right, well, I'll get you guys in here, and I think the first thing we're gonna do is get the master cylinder off. All right, first things first, like I said, we're gonna get this master cylinder off. It's 2 bolts up to the booster. They look like 9/16. And then 2 brake fittings here, which also look like 9/16. So let's get to that. And for these brake fittings, I'll potentially end up getting the torch out to heat them up if they don't break loose nicely. Let's, got a little bit of PB blaster here. Let's just juice some of this down a little bit. I mean, those ones we might end up having to fire up off, but the rest of these we should be able to get off just fine. Grab a line wrench. That one broke free. Come on. There it is. And I think this one broke free too. Yes, it did. Nice. Just work it back and forth a little bit, just till she's real smooth like. Very nice. Very, very nice. And Oh, wow, those are a lot more tighter than those brake lines were. There we go. No, I do not think you need a flaring wrench to do these nuts, but it's the wrench I have in my hand right now, so it's the one I'm going to use. Oh, wow. There we go. I think I'm just going to grab a regular wrench, probably make this a lot easier. Alright, that one's almost ready to come off. This one's working its way off nicely. There we go. There we go. Alright, now that the nuts are off that hold it to the booster, we'll take the lines rest of the way off and just pull the master off. Will be the Oh, it's still kind of tight. Can't do that by fingies. There we go. There we go. And there we go. There's the old master. I'm not sure if that's where our problem lies. It's got some crud and stuff in the back here, which leads me to believe that it might be bad. But, oh yeah, let's just take a look here once. Yeah, it looks like it's been leaking into the booster, so hopefully this is part of our brake problem. We'll set that over there for now. Now the real next step will be to see if we can get the bleeders broke loose on the front calipers, and because we'll have to bleed brakes obviously once we get the master installed. So let's jump down to this front wheel below me and see if we can get the bleeder broke free. Alright, we're down here by this front caliper on this bleeder here. She looks pretty rusty. We're going to hit it with just a little bit of juice, see if that helps any. Grab the ratchet, little 1/4 inch ratchet. Don't want too much torque on it. We're not trying to snap it off. Just give it some light tap, see if it wants to break loose at all. She's not really feeling like she wants to break loose at all. So we'll do a couple taps tightening maybe, get the socket back off. You can hit around the bleeder valve, sometimes helps breaking loose the rust and stuff. So we'll try that. Alright, let's see if that helped any. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, let's tighten it back up. We have a little bit of movement. Let's get some more juice on there. Just work it back and forth, a little bit at a time. There we go. And that's one down. Let's see if we're lucky enough on the other side too. Oh yeah, it was even giving us some juices. Okay. There we go. Well, that one opened, so that's good to know. Let's just keep running it out a little bit, spray a little bit more juice on it, and then we'll just run it back in. And it'll be ready for us tomorrow for when we get our master cylinder. Nice. Success! Let's move to the other side now. Alright, we're on the passenger side now. I'm just going to do the same thing, give it a little bit of juice. See if it breaks loose a little bit. Go back to tighten. Loosen, tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen, tighten. Back the socket off, get a little bit more juice in there. Loosen, loosen, loosening. All loose. Good, good. Let's check to see if our bleeder is full of rust. I mean, there's stuff in it, but I don't think it's clogged. Yeah, no. Yeah, our bleeder opens here. So that's a good sign. We'll put that guy back in. Not convinced that our rubber hoses here aren't in the best of shape. This one's showing some signs of wear, so that might potentially be a problem tomorrow. We'll find out. We'll find out, but yeah, okay. Cool. The front bleeders, that's a good sign. At least the front bleeder's open, so we should be able to bleed at least the front brakes tomorrow when we get the master, as long as our hoses play nice with us. But that's a different story. Let's move to the back and see if we can get the drums off and see what the story is back there. Alright, so we're in the rear of the Scout now. Let's try to get these drums off and see what we got going on underneath them. I'm just gonna try to see if that'll gently persuade it at all. Let's try a little bit more. Hey, there we go. Drum number 1 is off. Just like so. Let's take a look and see what we got going on back here. The shoes actually look to be fairly healthy. Let's peel back these wheel cylinder boots, which that one's leaking profusely, so we're gonna do rear wheel cylinders. Not the end of the world. Everything else looks very, very good. So that means let's jump to the other side and see what that needs. So we know we need a wheel cylinder. Okay, this ain't a big deal. All right, we're on the passenger side now. Let's see if we get as lucky as we did on the other side with this drum. There it is. There it is. A little bit of rust on the drums, both sides, not a big deal. We could probably get them cut easily. Golly, the shoes are good on this side. I mean, this one has some crusties in it, but in reality it probably might actually be good. And just because that other side's leaking doesn't mean it won't bleed out, like it'll just leak fluid in the back, which isn't the best, but we should probably be able to still get brakes bled tomorrow, and hopefully we got some brakes. That's the goal for tomorrow, and also a fuel pump that doesn't leak. So now that we got the brakes off, let's jump to something else. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is see if I can get my bore camera here down into the gas tank and see what it looks like in there. See if it's bad, see if it's good. I have really no idea. But also when I was under there, I kind of looked, and I'm not even sure this is long enough to actually reach the gas tank, so we'll see here. Let's go fishing. Okay. Well, it looks like we were already in some gas or something. And as I feared, I don't think we're long enough to actually reach into the gas tank. So that's kind of a real bummer that we don't know what the condition of that is. So, I mean, apparently we were in gas though, because there's gas on my bore scope that I'm smelling that, I mean, it doesn't smell great, but anybody who was born before the year 2000 understands that gas used to smell different, and it smells like the old-timey gas, so that's kind of a little bit weird. So I got good hope that the tank isn't completely rotted out. I don't know. I seen that there's a drain plug on the side. Real skeptical about that because the tank looks a little crusty, but I might also just be worrying about nothing. I don't know. Maybe we'll try to hook up like an electric pump to it and pump out what's in there, see what pumps out, see if it's gross. I don't know. That'll be project for a little bit later though, so let's get to something else. All right, guys, let's do a light check on the old Scout once here. Let's see what we got going on. Do we have brake light? We have a brake light. I don't know if we have a brake light on that side. I can see one for sure. Oh, thank you, Luke.
Nope.
No brake light on that side? Okay. Let's do a blinker check quick. I hear flasher. I have no indicator on the dash though. That front one blinking. Let's go check that out.
And the back one.
Oh, look at that. We got a blink. And we're blinking over on this side. Woo-wee, good. All right. What about right? Nothing? Nothing. Anything in the back, like a bulb on or nothing? Nope. No bulb. Any bulb in the front?
No bulb in the front.
No bulb in the front. All right. I mean, I wonder if that could possibly be part of the problem.
Or over here.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll look into that here in just a little bit. Let's see if we got running lights. Do we got? Oh, got a marker here.
Yeah, marker in both fronts.
Got a tail light. No license plate light. Gonna have to get that fixed. Tail light. Rear marker over here too. Awesome. I think there's a bulb in there that's burnt out for the front marker. We got our front running light. That's cool. Front running light, cool. And I'm guessing that's supposed to be illuminated also. I don't think we got any dash lights neither. All right, how about headlights? I see one headlight on the wall. One, we got two headlights, that's good, that's good. Do we got a high beam? Hey, they switch.
You do, but there's no difference.
They switch. They switch.
Yeah, they do, but
Are they both working switched?
yeah. There's no one's going to go switch it so you can see.
Yeah, why don't you go switch your lights?
Be prepared, you're gonna go blind.
Oh man. Oh. Yeah. There's a. Okay. Cool. That's cool. I guess. Let's we'll jump into these side markers first, I guess, because those look like they're just a couple Phillips head screws to take out, and I'm pretty sure we have a bunch of light bulbs that came in the car. I just got to figure out where I put them. I think I put them in this box in the back. Oh, they're right here. Some mini lamps. I would almost bet any money these are the lamps we need. Let me grab a Phillips screwdriver and we'll get to it quick. All right. Phillips screw. Other Phillips screw. I don't know how long these are. Not too long at all. Set that up there. Set that up there. Get light cover to pull out. Oh, the whole light pulls out. Okay, that works. Undo that guy. Grab light bulb. Light bulb looks burnt out. Throw old light bulb in garbage. Come over to new light bulbs. Pull out rack of new light bulbs since we have more to do. Grab new light bulb. It's a little tricky one-handed, but we'll get her done. Yeah, let's put light bulb in light socket. Go turn light on. Light turns on. Go turn lights off. Light turns off. Put lens back on. Again, a little tricky one-handed here, but let's see what we can do. There we go. Got light socket in. Twist light socket into place. Put light back into. Make sure you drop a screw. Can't complete the project without it. Get screw started. Grab screwdriver. Screw in. Get the next screw started. And voila. Just like so. And now I'm gonna put the camera down and go to the other side because it shouldn't take me 3 minutes to do. So we'll jump to the next light project after that. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is go to this rear tail light and pull this out and see if the bulb is just burnt out or what the deal is. So again, one screw, 2 screws. Oh, these bad boys are kind of long. Oh, not that bad. There we go. There we go. And then pull lens out. Pull the lens out. And we will check this bulb here, which it appears to actually be good, but we'll pull out the power probe and test it and see what's going on. All right, we got the power probe here. Pretty much just ground out the light bulb with the ground clamp. That side works. That bulb is, oh, no, that filament's good. Okay, so then now we gotta go check to see if we have power getting to the socket while the brakes are active, or if we have a wiring issue there, because apparently the bulb's good, or maybe we should try putting the bulb back in the holder and see, but we'll just run back there with the power probe quick and see if we got power in the socket. All right, hey bud, could you go hit the brakes for me? All right, so what we're trying to do here is see if we got power Yeah, turn the lights on once. All right, so this is supposed to be our brake input here, and we have no power getting to it. So I don't know if we have a socket issue or a wiring issue, so we'll have to dig into that a little bit. Next thing I want to do then, quick, is go check that front bulb to see if that's bad for the front blinker, or if that's a completely... Is the blinker on by chance?
No.
To the right? No?
It is now.
Okay, turn the key forward once.
It is forward.
Okay. No. Okay. Cool. Yeah, let's go to the front. Yeah, let's go to the front light socket and check to see if we got turn signal power up there. Or because it might be a problem with the turn signal switch why we're not getting power to this side here. I've seen that before. Go. That is an orange light bulb.
That's a big one.
Alright, let's get this guy out. A little crusty, but it looks like both filaments are actually good. So that tells me that it's... Let's see here, we got the power probe right here with us, so we'll ground it. That's one. Yep, both filaments are good. How does that? Okay, no. Okay, I see how that grounds now. Okay. Oh, that needs a socket for sure. Up here, I think. Oh, wow. I am surprised that works at all. That is one of the worst sockets I have ever seen. But, it should work, so who knows? Wow. Crazy that it works. Well, we'll just put this bulb right back in and go and try to find our potential issue somewhere else. You want to turn the headlights on real quick once? I just want to make sure this still works. Oh, I made issues. Alright. We did not fix anything. We made problems actually. This light used to work with the headlights, so let's take it back out and see what's going on. See if we can get it to work. There we go. Now we got it working again, so We'll put that all back together. Except for that's upside down. Oh, wait. We lost it. Oh, there it is. It's back. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you can turn the headlights off. It's kind of getting me right in the eyeballs. Okay, so I guess the next thing I'm going to do is actually go under the dash with the power probe and find our turn signal wire out of the turn signal switch and see if when I apply power under the dash, if the lights light up out here, because that'll tell me if I have a turn signal switch issue or if I have a wiring issue. So that's where we're headed next. Oh. Okay, we're under the dash. Oh. There's lots of wiring and stuff going on, and looking here, I see that we have to drop this lower AC unit for sure because of all the garbage up on there. Mouse shit, to be honest. Is this switch even hooked up? I wonder what... Wonder what that guy does. Yes, okay. So, what I need to do is, we might actually just generally drop some trim panels out of here quick. I wonder, does the heater work? I wonder. Oh, that's all seized up. That is. That's broken now. That's not good. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have done that. We're gonna have to... That'll be another episode, but we're gonna drop all this and get that working, I think, because that's gonna be necessary. But, I think we might pull this lower trim piece off just so I can get to these wires here a little bit better. I need to see if the turn signal switch is bad or if it's something else. And I'm just seeing a bunch of wiring going on here, and I don't know what it does, because there's a Scotch lock on that runs up to this toggle switch. I have no idea what that does. Let's just flip it and go do a walk around quick. I don't know what that switch does. I'm not sure. I don't see anything happening, so I don't know. I have no idea what that switch does. We'll figure that out later. That's kind of... Huh. That's weird. The horn light also turns on this under dash light, but we got some other things going on here too, which... Okay, to be honest, I can't really stand the smell in this thing, so I think the first thing we're gonna have to do before we get to that blinker switch deal is probably gut the interior and the carpet out of this, and that'll probably be a job for tomorrow. So I'm gonna call it a night. And we'll get back after this tomorrow when I pick up the master cylinder and fuel pump also. And then we'll maybe dig into the lights more, and we'll see where the day takes us. How about that? See you guys tomorrow. Good morning. Welcome back. Went to the parts store this morning. Got me a new master cylinder, comparing it to the old one here, because there's two different options with very minimum differences, and I don't know. I went with the cheaper one. We'll see if that bites us later. And then I also got us a fuel pump. Oh, it's not an electric one, it's a mechanical one, like that guy there. But yes, got us a new fuel pump to put on the front of the Scout so that hopefully we can eliminate that fuel leak. And then I think the next task will be after that would be I think I'm gonna drain out the factory fuel tank, see what comes out of there, see how it is. If it looks, I mean, like, I'm not gonna run the gas, but if nothing, no big chunks come out when I'm doing it, I'll probably end up just putting some gas in the gas tank and hooking up the factory fuel system, put a couple filters in line, and see if it'll work on the factory fuel system, because 19 gallon sounds a lot better than 6.5 gallon boat tank. So let's get started with putting the master cylinder on. Alrighty, let's get this master cylinder on. Let's see if it even actually fits like it's supposed to. Sure, looks like it'll fit. So just two nuts hold the master to the booster, which are these two guys right here. Well, I guess there's a lock washer there too. So we'll put them on, tighten this up. Couple swings at a time. Keep it going, and we gotta be almost getting there. There we go, that one's tight. That one is also tight, nice. Okay, move the lines out of the way. Okay, so you want to really bench bleed a master cylinder when you put it on. I ain't got a bench to bench bleed it, so we're going to use the vehicle instead. And all you're really trying to do is work the air bubbles out of the pistons. And let's see if we can do that with these plugs here. And then just fill it up and start pumping the pedal, see what happens. Nice and easy, let's go. There we go. Alright, that's tight. That's tight. Some fresh brake fluid in there. Not nearly enough in that bottle. Huh. Okay, we'll fill them up most of the way. And then I'm just gonna jump in the cab of the truck and start pumping on the pedal, and hopefully it gets hard, or hopefully something happens. I believe we may have a booster issue. There's a lot of noises coming out of it, and my pedal isn't really getting hard, which is weird considering it's blocked off. So I'm just gonna keep pumping it a little bit and see what happens, but we may have some bigger issues. Okay, we're getting something out the front a little bit. Let's tighten that up a little bit more because it's leaking. Tighten up this back one also. See if we can get anything to happen here. Okay, as you guys can see, only the front one's really doing something. I think I'm gonna take this master back off and adjust this push rod that was under there once and see if that changes anything. Let me get you guys repositioned just a little bit and we'll do that. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. So just so we don't spill any fluid, we'll toss the cover back on. And then we'll pop the master back off quick. see this rod here should be adjustable actually. I just probably gotta get some pliers, but there's also a good part of me that feels like this rod shouldn't pull out like that. I don't know. I think our booster is bad, but we should still be able to bleed through it, and we just shouldn't have power brakes. So I'm gonna grab a couple tools and see if I can get that to free up. Here. Grab this knurl area. And that has an actual socket size. Let's see if I can figure out what size it is. There we go. We'll extend it out a little bit more, see if that helps us any. All right, we screwed it out about a good 1/4 inch. Let's see if that makes any difference. Oh, we might have to screw that back in just a little bit because we're at the end of the threads, but let's see here. Might be a little too far since it's kind of already pushing on the cylinder. I don't need it hanging off the brakes though, so let's see what this does quick, just a little adjustment. I don't know if this is actually going to solve our problem. Alright, we'll tighten this back up. There we go. Pop the cover back off and see if we have any different reaction. not getting anything out of it. Oh. This is getting frustrating. Oh, so frustrating. Alright, let's see what's going on here once. Huh. Okay. Alright, let's try this once. Alright, tightening this back up for the last time, hopefully. Until we replace the booster, I'm guessing. But, you know, minor things. Alright, let's go try the brake pedal one more time here. Alright, the brake pedal travels some distance and then it hits a dead stop. I'm going to call that good enough. Let's hook up these brake lines and see if we can get fluid down to the calipers and the wheel cylinders. Let's do that. Oh. There we go. Just had to give the line a slight adjustment. There we go. That started too, I'm pretty sure, without being cross-threaded. So let's clamp that down. We'll walk this one in nice so we can see if we start seeing threads being pulled. No, it's walking in pretty nice. Alright, master cylinder is on and lines are on. Next thing we gotta do is go put the rear drums. So, the next thing we'll have to do is go put the rear drums back on so that way we can pump up the brakes without the shoes and the springs flying everywhere without them being retained. So I'm gonna go do that quick and then I'm gonna just probably pump up the pedal some and see if anything's happening. I'll get with you guys here soon. All right, guys. Got some brake fluid in there, got all the bleeders shut, got the rear drums on. I'm just gonna pump the brakes some, get some fluid flowing, hopefully. I mean, you can't really see it on this one, but it's jumping out of the master. It doesn't go all the way to the floor, which is a good sign. So since I'm here by myself, I think I'm just gonna go around and open all the bleeder valves now and see if we start gravity bleeding actually. And if we can start gravity bleeding, then we will try to figure out a way to actually bleed. But let's just see if everything's flowing actually first. Got fluid flowing out of there. Let's go over here and crack this one loose. I don't really know. Go back to the rear wheel cylinder, crack this open too. See if we get fluid back here. And one last one to open up and see if we get fluid coming out. There it is. It feels like fluid's coming out of there too. That's a good sign. Good sign. Brake fluid's going down. We got a nice steady drip out of this one. All right, we'll cap that guy off. Let's go check the other side once, see how that's doing. I mean, we're dripping. So sure, fluid's flowing. That's good. We'll cap that guy off. Nothing's really happening out this back one though. At least not this side. We might have to pump on that a little bit more. Also, we will be redoing the rear wheel cylinders. This side over here leaks, but I'm just trying to get brakes so that it's drivable. See if it's drivable at all. A little bit more than what we've been able to. So that's the only thing I'm trying to do right now today. Okay, that's all. Those are all tightened up. Let's see what the brake pedal. I mean, it goes down, but it doesn't go to the floor. I don't know if that means we have brakes. I have no idea. All right, well. I don't know. I'll maybe try to find somebody to come help me bleed brakes quick. See if we got anything happening. I'll let you guys know. All right, we're gonna take a break on those brakes for a minute. I think I might need hoses and a booster probably, it sounds like. So we're probably just gonna have to pump the brakes on the brakes. So let's move to the fuel system next. Let's get this. I've been spraying this drain on the fuel tank here for the last couple days, and I got it to break loose actually now. So let's jump to that and drain this fuel tank out and see what we all got going on. I mean, it don't smell the greatest, but it also doesn't smell the worst. Could probably run a lawnmower on this bad boy. Yes. And then once this is done draining, we'll send my bore scope through this hole once and just peek in the tank and make sure it's not completely rusted out or anything gonna give us problems. We're probably gonna have to cap this off and find another bucket. This one's getting pretty full. Uh-oh. Just dropped the drain plug in the bucket. That's a big uh-oh. It's a really big uh-oh. There we go. Get it capped off quick. Find me another container. Oh, skeptical. All right, emptied the bucket. Let's get the spring shield back up because there we go. Otherwise it just makes a giant mess running down the spring and onto the floor. Okay, well that keeps trickling away and draining. Let's move on up to the front of the engine and do that fuel pump quick. I'll meet you guys up there. 1/16 to hold the body. Then we got a 1/2 inch line wrench here. Let's see if we can get this to break loose here. And just work it back and forth a little bit to break it loose from the line. Very good. That's broke loose. Just grab a regular wrench now and swing it out. Take this hose off. Take that off. Get that out of the way. And then like I said, there's a bolt there and one directly across from it on the back side. I believe that's a 1/2 inch. See here once. Looks like it's actually a 9/16, so I gotta go grab a couple different tools. There we go, there's that one, and then there should be another one over here. Okay. Yeah. There we go. There's the old fuel pump coming out right there. Clean up, get the old gasket off. Yep. All right, let's compare the old to the new to the old. Looks fairly similar. I mean, a little different, but I think it'll be the same. The arms kind of do the same thing, so yes. Let's get this new one put up in there. just hang your gasket on, get a bolt through the housing, through the gasket, and let's see if we're anywhere able to do this by hand. Oh, might not be so bad. Let's see. Get that bolt started. Come in. Let's see if I can make this easier with a socket once. Oh, okay. Let's reset here quick. Come on, cooperate. Oh, okay, let's try to put this back bolt in first, maybe. I don't know, kind of struggling here. Okay, what is going on here? Let's try this again. Oh, this came out no problem. Going in is seeming to be difficult, and I don't understand why. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can walk that in just a couple more threads or what we're doing here. I ain't sure. now that it's bolted back up to the block, we're good. Whatever. Let's see. Thread this guy in. Thread this guy in. There we go. Grab that 9/16 wrench to hold the body again. And just tighten it up. There we go. All right. And then next thing we're gonna do is finish taking off this old rubber line from the factory fuel line system here. And we're just, okay, that was easier said, way easier said than I thought it was gonna be. And done. It was way easier done than said even. All right, I'm gonna find some new hose to replace this with and probably put an inline filter here. And then I think we'll end up filling up our gas tank and see what happens there. That's a weird deal. It feels plastic. I don't know what the deal is there. We'll look into that maybe a little bit, but there we go. Well, I guess for testing purposes quick, we'll hook up our old supply here and we'll fire it up and make sure that it actually runs and that the pump works. Otherwise, that'll be a whole nother problem. Oh, I have the wrong size. There we go, that's hooked up quick. Let's fire the Scout up for the first time today. Let's get the fuel system hooked up here quick. Just like so, fuel system hooked. We got battery hooked up. All right. Let's see if this new fuel pump pumps. Neutralis, key on. That's a very good sign. Yep. Good. All right. That checks one thing off the list. That'd be a fuel pump. That's done. That's good. Happy about that. I guess the next thing we're gonna do is, like I said, hook up a inline filter and get a chunk of hose to hook up the factory tank, and then we'll pour some fresh gas in that. But I gotta run to town and grab a filter. So we'll be back soon. All right, guys, one last thing I wanted to do before I put gas in this thing was stick my bore scope down this drain plug. And I mean, like, it doesn't give me the best image in there, but I can see that the pickup tube is actually intact. It doesn't look rusted out. So I'm gonna call it good. I don't see any, can't really see much. You can kind of see it there. That's the pickup tube there. So I'm happy with that. And like nothing is really sticking to the camera, neither like rust chunks or nothing. So I'm gonna say that the tank is probably just fine. Let's put this drain plug back in. And then, like I said, I gotta run to town, get a fuel filter and a little bit of fuel line. And then we'll come back and hook up the factory tank, put some fuel in it, and we'll probably have a factory fuel system then. So that is the plan. I will be back soon. All right, guys, I'm back from the store. Went and got us a fuel filter. Let's get this tossed up in place quick. And then, since we got the tank drained, I also picked up some gas. So we should be able to put gas in the actual tank. Fuel filter on, fuel pump should pump, and we should be able to have the factory fuel system. So let's get you guys set up here a little bit. Sure. And we gotta go from this line here to there. And I don't really know what that clamp's gonna do it, so we might have to get one of my worm clamps. I'd feel better with the worm clamp on that part there, so, because that just kind of slides on real willy-nilly like. I'm not sure. Alrighty. So, let's first get line off a pump. Here. And there we go. Let's steal this clamp back. Oop. There we go. How's that over there? Let's put a clamp on there. Get that to slide on. And we'll tighten this one up quick. Sure. And now we need to get a clamp back here. Which, simple enough, take that off like that. Position our hose clamp right so that we can actually access it. And then swing this back up into place on this line, hopefully. There we go. And we'll grab the socket and ratchet for that, and we'll get it all tightened up. All right, there we are. We got clamped, fuel filter in. Let's go pour some gas in the gas tank and let's crank this thing up and see if it starts pumping actually from the tank. All right, let's crank it up. I just poured 5 gallons into the tank. Let's see if we can draw some fuel up. That's not a good sign. That is not a good sign that that filter doesn't have fuel in it yet. Oh, there it comes, a little bit. Oh, there she comes. There it comes finally. Okay. Okay. And something just like that, we got our factory fuel tanks hooked up now again. That's awesome. We were running on the factory tank. I don't know if the gas gauge works or not because it was reading 1/4, but there is way more than 1/4 tank in there when we drained it. Seems to be running very, very good. Very, very good. Well, I just stalled the engine out with the brakes, so we must have something of brakes. Yeah, because clutch out, brake in, engine dies. We have brakes. I don't know how good it brakes, but it stops the engine, so I guess let's put some tires back on this thing and go take it for a little jaunt around the block or two and just see how it actually performs now that we don't have a leaking fuel pump and I'm worried about starting on fire. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Let's get to it. All right, guys, we're going for the first real actual road test in the Scout. Let's see what she's all about. There we go. We're backing up. Holy shit, we actually have brakes. That's a big plus. I mean, I wouldn't call them probably great brakes, but it stopped. Scent over here, I can smell it. It makes it feel really good.
It's noble. It's probably test driving that thing too.
Tires are square. We don't stop at an alarming rate, but we stop. That was close call there, actually. The brakes were on the floor. Well, let's take her out on the old interstate highway. There we go. The old back roads of America here. What are we, just creeping around in second right now? You notice we slowed down there when I applied them, so that's got to be something. Oh, we got a blinker on. People been thinking we're turning the whole time. Golly. I mean, it doesn't run 100% great, but stop sign, and then we'll open her up a little bit. It's a longer stretch. feels like we're doing 900 miles an hour. Jesus, I don't know. But we're cruising. We don't have a temp gauge. Oh, hood's coming up, hood's coming up. Let's, okay, we're good, we're good. Oh, the hood just latched. That's gonna be a whole problem now. That's gonna be a whole type of problem. Yeah, we should probably head back and not get her too hot. We don't have a temp gauge or nothing. I don't really know what's all happening. We'll use this gentleman's field approach to turn around. Alright guys, just got back from the test drive. Things I noticed. Fuel gauge didn't work, and temp gauge didn't work neither. Fuel gauge nor temp. That's kind of whatever. Let's get outside and take a look and see if anything's on fire or anything.
Well, if it is, you're fucking good shot.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem there. The hood relatched. That's nice. That's gonna be take the fender off and, or not the fender, but the wheel off and get back at it again. I might be able to actually reach up in there and just grab it by my hand because I lubed it all up last night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so
What, your hand or the cable?
Both. But that'll do it for this episode of Bad Decision Garage. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the Scout. Got a few more projects we got to do with it. As you've seen, like in this episode, we kind of dove into the electrical a little bit. We'll have to get into that on a separate episode. And then also figure out the heating system. I need heat. If I'm going to drive this, I need heat. But thank you for watching. See you guys next time.